Among the most powerful features in WordPress is its ability to be augmented, to be scaled up in a variety of different ways. And the good news is you don't have to be a programmer. There are so many people who have created what are referred to as plugins that augment and make your site even more dynamic and more powerful. The good news is if we go over to plugins here, you can see all the plugins that are currently installed. By default, these two are always installed. The only one I tend to worry about or consider is the one that deals with security, and that's the top one. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But for the time being, what if you wanted to add video? Well, as it stands, it really doesn't have a player, so we need to go and install a player. And that way we can draw videos from YouTube or any other location, Vimeo or any other site that we choose. And it's really easy to do. We're going to do that a little bit later. So I'm going to add a new plugin. You can either upload it from your own desktop if you've already downloaded something, or we can go and take a look at what's out there. So I'm going to click on, right now, Featured. And these are the ones that are relatively new. You can read the examples and explanations here for each and every one of them. There are probably close to 1 million right now. So you basically type in what you're looking for. So I'm just simply going to go back here and search, and I'm going to search for video player. So video player, I'm going to search the plugins at WordPress, and there's a whole bunch of them. Now there is one that is better than most, and that happens to be right here, JW Player. By the way, the stars are indicative of what people think of these, and some of them are really good and some of them are, well, still in the progress of being prepared. WordPress YouTube, relevant video player, automatically searches video from YouTube, and that means it posts it for you. And here we want JW Player. It's probably one of the best out there. I'm going to install it right now. There you go. It begins to actually download it, unzip it, prepare it, and we're going to activate it. Don't you love this email coming up here in the bottom? Fantastic. So there it is. Now it's in the list of installed plugins, and it's active. Deactive is to turn it off. We want to keep it on. And you'll also notice something else. The moment we activated it, it also created its own little tab over here. And you can take a look at some of that information. I'm going to click on it. So out of the box, it will demonstrate or display video at 300 by 400. Okay, we can create a custom player by clicking on here, and we can change or modify any of the information here. Whether or not you want it to start by itself, you get to choose all of this information. Advanced settings, we can come in here and continue to modify it. I suggest you really do play with it a little bit, and when you figure out exactly what you like, then write it down so that you remember what you set up. Ad service we don't necessarily want. Plugins, there are many plugins that augment this particular style. Licensing, because it's a freebie, we don't want to purchase anything right now, and we'll accept it just the way it is. Settings, so here's some interesting things. Where do you want it to display and how? Do you want it to have very specific characteristics? You get to decide. And we'll take a look at that in 1 second. So let's go back here, and we're going to create a new page. We could create a post, but we're going to create a page instead. So either way, and I'm going to call this simply, let's just call it video examples. Okay, video example, let's just capitalize that. And we want to put a video in here. So, first thing we're going to do, So now that we have the plugin for JW Player, it's quick and easy to actually add in videos. Now I've gone to YouTube and I've grabbed one, and let me just jump to YouTube for a moment to give you an idea, because we're going to install it in this page. At YouTube, I've grabbed one on T accounts, and I've clicked on share, I've clicked on embed, and you'll notice this code here, and this code needs to be highlighted. Once you've done that, you can right click and copy. Now there are other adjustments, and I'll let you play with that. You can change the size of it and some of the other characteristics associated with it. But for the time being, that's all I need. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to give it a label. And I've called it Basic Accounting Principles. I'm simply going to highlight this. I'm going to make it a heading number 2. I'm going to bold it, and I'm going to change the color to a deep green. There we go. That seems to fit with accounting for some reason. So I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to put in here T account. T accounts, and I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to make that a heading number 3. Good show. And I'm going to leave that as a dark green as well. Fantastic. Press enter. Now this could be centered very easily as well, but I'm going to put in embed code. To do that, I need to switch to HTML. Once I do that, I can paste the code that I actually took. So I'm going to paste that in here. There's my iframe. I'm going to switch back to visual. Remember, it needs to be done in HTML because this is actual HTML code. Switching back to visual, I can now see what it looks like, and I can publish this. Now, I'm going to put this particular one inside of tutorials so that we now have a video as well. So again, publish, and we'll switch to the website to see what it looks like. I'll update this by refreshing it. There we go. Inside of tutorials, we now see video examples. If I click on that, there's my video. If I click on it, I can now listen to it. Let's jump ahead a little bit here and see what she's doing. Now you could probably create something much better. It's up to you entirely. You can use, believe it or not, nothing more than a small $2 microphone as a voiceover and PowerPoint, and that will create your video as well. Uploading it to YouTube or Vimeo, it's up to you, but you do not want to host a video from your own website. It will kill the website. It takes too much traffic. So let's just take a look at adding even more here. Keep in mind, if you think ahead what you'd like to do and doodle on a piece of paper, you can basically come up with some pretty good ideas. So I'm just going to click beside this, press enter so I go below it. And what other kind of video do they have here? One more, just to take a look at what we could actually add here. And I see that they have debits and credits. Now that's a good one, so let's just add that one in here. I'll click on it. It comes up, click on share. Good. Embed. I'm going to copy that.
Hi, welcome to Debits and Credits. Today I will teach debits and credits a little bit different than the book to hopefully help you learn in a new way.
Very boring. Okay, let's just take a look here. I'm going to go back, and just below I'm going to put in debits and credits. And again, we're going to highlight this, and we're going to make it green just for the hell of it. And we're also going to make this number 3. Good show. It looks good to me. And now let's put our embed code in, go back to HTML, and we will once again click at the end, there you go, and paste. And now we're ready to update. Phenomenal. And as a result, we're going to take a look at what it looks like. And we're going to refresh. Oops. Let's just go back to the home page for a moment. And we'll refresh it. And we're going to jump to video examples. And there you go. Now you have two. Now the one thing to keep in mind, you notice that the sizes are quite different here. And let's just change that very quickly. Just going to jump back in here for a moment. And by the way, you can structure this any way you want to. And I'm going to take a look at the code for both of them. Here's the first one. It says that the current size is 560 by 315. This one, however, is 420. So I'm just for kicks going to change it a little bit. It's not the best thing to do, but I'm going to change it because I'd like them to be identical. And I'm going to update that. And I'll jump back to the website. We'll refresh the website. There we go. Now you'll see that they're both the same size. And of course, people can play them. Now you could put more information as a description or an explanation, or even have a link here to a document. It's a very easy thing to do. It just takes a little bit of creativity and you can create something really spectacular. Again, we created part 1, part 2, and these could actually be documents or they could be anything. And it doesn't always have to be your work. The only thing you must remember is to be honest and give credit to where credit is due. So if you take somebody else's article, at least make sure that their name and their website is also there. The idea is to give people a focused location where they can get all the information and not have to go browsing for it themselves. And if you can provide that, people will come to your site. So once again, we've created a little bit of a website here. If you click on the Home tab, you'll notice that we have our tutorials, we have our categorized, and these are our different elements. We also put in a read more, and we have a few other elements that we've added as well. Believe it or not, it is that quick and that simple to actually put something together. Next video, we'll put a video into a blog.